With the dawning of Pokemon Sword and Shield, we also begin the terrible leak season. It is quite like spring in a way. With spring comes allergy season. The only difference is that leak season precedes the hype season in this case. I made a promise to you all before the games were even revealed. I would never act like the other Poketubers and stalk 4chan for fake leaks to spurg out over acting like they're real. I'm not the disingenuous type that preys on viewers like that. What I am is a cynic that doesn't trust the world. Leading up to the reveal of Let's Go, I had a mini-series where I would take very popular leaks and tear them apart and show why they were fake. I think it's kinda like Mythbusters in a way, except confirming these will be impossible until a reveal happens. But that doesn't mean we can't use critical thinking skills to assess these and see their validity. I will be rewarding the leaks points. The closer they get to a perfect score, the more believable they are, and therefore the more plausible they could be. A perfect score in my grading system will be a 50 out of 50. For this, I am taking on the two most popular leaks that are going around, and I'm going to try and cut them down to size a bit. One of these leaks I even tweeted about after the reveal of Sword and Shield. These leaks are the Astro Bunny leak that has resurfaced, and the 4chan leak called Screencap This, legit. I will start with the latter since, as of right now, the leak is being believed by many. This leak appeared 7 days before Pokemon Day and the reveal of Sword and Shield. What gives this leak believability is that it predicted the names of the game. I will not be counting that they got the location right since everyone and their mother predicted this. I even made a video about how a Gen 8 would be in the UK. We all saw this coming, and this does not give leaks credibility in any way, shape, or form. Predicting the names, however, is much harder to do. Granted, everyone was predicting a royal theme, and the name Sword and Shield was amongst King and Queen and Crown and Scepter. In fact, there were other leaks that called this game that very thing, Sword and Shield, but got other details such as the location wrong. So predicting the name could just be a guess, an educated one at that, but a guess nonetheless. I will reward half points to this part when I pass my judgment. The leak further goes into detail on how the legendaries are a metal snake and a wooden horse. The snake is very believable as there is a Celtic symbol of a snake and a knot. The gist of what it all represents is infinity and strength, and the snake itself in the Celtic belief means rebirth, healing, and wisdom. Either the leaker did some research, or this could be possible Pokemon. The counterpart, however, makes no sense for the UK or as a counterpart to the snake itself. A wooden horse, which instantly makes you think of the Trojan horse. Now, this would be great for a Greek-inspired region, but this is the UK. I looked for hours for a connection to a wooden horse in the UK. I even reached for mythology to see if there was any mythical horses that could connect to trees. Anything. But I got nothing. The only thing I found with the UK and horses is the hill figures there. In fact, the UK has many hill figures of white horses. The one pictured is supposedly the oldest. This could be a connection, but the leak clearly says wooden horse. So I don't know with this. The leak also mentions armored evolutions and that Meltan is important to this. We know Pokemon has been shoehorning gimmicks into every gen since X and Y, and this one will be no different probably. Other leaks before this one mentioned armored evolutions or forms, as well as fusions, which is another popular theory going into Sword and Shield because of the symbol on the Japanese games and all over the region. Because this has been mentioned in the past leaks that have been proven, that kinda hurts this leak. Last we have mention of Meltan, which is very strange as in all reality this Pokemon was only used to sell Let's Go. The lore behind it was worshipped 3,000 years ago. We don't know its original region. Galar could be its home, and I could see them using this Pokemon in the story, but would they really include a mythical in a game again? We only saw this once with Deoxys and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It is possible, and I can see Pokemon wanting to keep riding off the popularity of Meltan. So my overall rating for this leak is as follows. I am not including location for being predicted, so that neither hurts nor boosts this leak. For the names, I will give it 5 points out of 10. Since this was tossed around with other fake leaks and theorized by fans, they could have just piggybacked off that from the start. The legendaries give plausibility, at least half of it does. While the snake works for the mythology of the location, the wooden horse does not. This is a 5 points out of 10. The armored evolution feature, while being interesting, is unlikely as it's been mentioned in past leaks. Leaks always build off other leaks, so this could mean nothing. 3 points out of 10. Last, we have Meltan's inclusion. Seeing the climate of the community and the popularity of this mythical, it is quite possible Game Freak will continue to lean on this Pokemon to sell the game. We know of its existence, now we can learn the lore behind it. It's something I can see Game Freak doing. 7 points out of 10. So adding up the score, in this case out of 40 since I'm not taking the location into account, we come up with a score of 20 out of 40, which is a failing grade. While I do believe these leaks are fake, I will not pass total judgment calling these fake until I reveal the legendary box Pokemon. Until then, these leaks will be put on the back shelf until further evidence comes forward. Right now, don't bet on this leak fully. One more leak I want to talk about is the old Astro Bunny leak that showed up years ago, but has returned all of a sudden. Funny how leaks do that, damn necromancers everywhere. But a lot of people think Score Bunny will evolve into this, and before I say anything, let's just examine it. At face value, this is really good artwork, and it does have that Pokemon art style. However, that style is mimicked easily by very talented artists. Just because it's pretty doesn't mean it's real, though. I'm going right for the throat here now, and pointing out the first huge issue. Messing with the contrast, we can see a Facebook and Instagram link where this was found. The user, whose account no longer exists, used to collect fan-made Pokemon and share them. This right off the bat is a huge setback, and the fact whoever shared it purposely tried to hide the watermark kills the leak right there. However, the brains on the internet have been putting things together and theorized that he was taken down from Instagram because he posted this Pokemon. That is possible, but people like to stretch to make things seem like they're real when they like them. It does have a similar color scheme to Scorbunny though, which gives it some weight. Predicting a rabbit isn't hard if you follow the Zodiac theory, which kinda was confirmed with this reveal. Getting the white and yellow coloring right is harder. Even the eyes have that same reddish brown. This is really strange coincidence and it makes it all more plausible. Another issue is the fact that in the center we see the Sun and Moon female trainer being used as a height comparison. Normally I would call this damning evidence that this is fake, and while this does hurt the validity, it's not the fact that the trainer is from Sun and Moon. We can see that the Beware concept art they use has Ash and Serena in it. The issue I have with the Sun and Moon trainer is that it's an exact silhouette of the character and not drawn. I can do this same exact thing with PowerPoint. If it was a drawn character and not a shadow, then I would be calling this a pinpoint of proof. This hurts it, in fact. And last, we have seen this happen before. Concepts for starters being leaked out months before the reveal. It has happened in the last gen, and while it is possible, it could happen, which is why this leak is still alive. So let's pass judgment. The art is good, the lines are clean, and it's very professional, but styles can be mimicked. 5 points out of 10. The fact that this was found by an Instagram user that used to post fake mons nearly kills this leak. And while the conspiracy people are reaching for could be real, it's still a death blow. 0 points out of 10. Having the same color scheme as Scorbunny, though, makes me stop and think. The odds of that happening are unlikely. It gives it weight. 9 points out of 10. The Sun and Moon trainer being in the center is not something we haven't seen before done in concepts, but because it's done the way it is, it hurts the leak. 4 points out of 10. And last, because we have seen this exact same thing happen, gives it some believability, but history doesn't always repeat. 6 points out of 10. So adding all this up, we get 24 out of 50. Less than half. A failure by my rating system. But despite this passing my judgment, I still call this one plausible, but unlikely. There is something about it, and the color scheme of Scorbunny matching it really makes me wonder. What do you all think? Do you accept my judgment on these two leaks, or do you think I'm wrong? What do you believe with Pokemon Sword and Shield? Let me know in the comments and we can talk about that. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and share around. It helps me grow the channel and I really appreciate it. Become an Ember of the Phoenix by subscribing to the channel and following me on Twitter. The links to that can be found in all the descriptions below. Go check out some of the other series I'm doing on the channel. I have some Let's Plays going on, which are Mondays and Fridays for Stardew Valley, Tuesdays and Thursdays for Pokemon Uranium. Wednesdays, I am doing a journey to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Saturday is my Pokemon fanfiction Axiom, and Sundays I am doing random discussion videos that I pop in my head about Sword and Shield. You can see there's a theme for Sword and Shield going on. But yeah, if you're interested in any of that, feel free to check it out. And with all that said, it's been Black Phoenix. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.